So, hey everybody, this is Jack Music at the Kumukoa House, Big Island, Hilo, Hawaii. I just got home yesterday from America and I met Tim and Bao Bao, who are going all around the world doing something really awesome. And we're recording this on Wednesday, July 20th, 2016. It's about 11:30, and Tim is going to tell us all about this amazing project.
Wow, thanks, Jack. But not quite all around the world, half of the world. And actually what we're doing, it's only part of the achievement of the heritage and the group of people which we're really following and working with. My partner Bobo and I, after 2 years living in the heart of Australia at Alice Springs, working at the Central Australian Aboriginal Media Association, where I was the in-house music producer. I have a profile for working on Indigenous music acts. We decided what to do next, and we sat there and I remembered, and I'd only just learnt about this, the Austronesian heritage, this connection that the Indian and Pacific Oceans have, like a link, a cultural heritage that originated from Taiwan 5,000 years ago, the seafarers who spread their culture, language and music, right across that whole region, except for Australia. And as an Australian, I thought, wow, I don't know anything about this great history. So, and also really troubled by climate change and the world's lack of sort of motivation to sort of get anything done. The Paris agreement was coming up. That was in early 2015. So we had the idea. We thought we wanted to do something that was challenging for us both. That was taking us travelling. It was bigger than our story. Something that was giving to the world. Sort of like service. That was great for me because I love producing music and working with artists, and something that was great for Bao because she had 150,000 followers on her travel blog. So we came up with the idea of a project uniting musicians of the Austronesian heritage from Madagascar to Hawaii, Taiwan to Aotearoa, New Zealand, and all the way in between, through East Asia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, the Polynesian islands of the Pacific, and to create a collaborative music album project that brings those musicians together, playing on each other's songs, contributing music which they feel comes from the heart, the lineage of their heritage, that sings their land, that sings their voice, and sharing that and building that up with other artists, on their land, in their voice, with their guidance. And we took about a year getting some funding, getting it off the ground, and we decided in January we're going to start. So we've been through Taiwan, working with the Amis people, the Paiwan, Bunan people, the Dao people of Lanyu Island, to Bali, recorded fantastic artists there, Gus Teja, with an artist from Rapa Nui, from Solomon Islands. We went to Madagascar, recording the Marina people, some different ethnic groups there, to Guam, back to Taiwan. We're now here in Hawaii, and yesterday we had an incredible session with Kuana Torres Kahele, representing the hula tradition here in Hawaii. He took us out in the land here on Big Island and recorded this, wrote a song while we were setting up our gear, song from the earth on that country there. That's in a nutshell what we're up to. Yeah.
So, what caused you guys to, what breathed this idea into you? What got you going? What gave you this idea?
Wow. Well, we had met, and we'd been a couple for 3 years by that stage, and we were finishing up the contract, and we really wanted to do something that was, as I mentioned, that was challenging for both of us, but something that was a bigger story than just our story. And we were really troubled by the lack of inaction about climate change, and particularly I'd been working with artists in the Pacific, artists whose islands, they're really concerned. What you can see the effects of it happening there, and it just struck me that actually the very people who do know how to live sustainably and to live in harmony, with a small island, they're going to be the very first people to see their islands lost. through rising sea levels, through the effects of climate change, and that's through the effects of the lifestyle of the rest of us on our small island, Earth. That's why we've called our project Small Island, Big Song. Small Island is our Earth. Yeah. So if we can impart some of that knowledge, because I've been working with Indigenous Aboriginal people in Australia, and actually I'd just come back when we had that idea from recording music with the last Aboriginal tribe to leave their nomadic lifestyle. And the children in that group, around the 26, they had no idea of Western civilization until that age. They walked out of the Australian desert into this community called Kirakara. And I would just come back from recording they're called Inma, their traditional songs on the land, those songs pre-contact. And with the Australian Aboriginal, the Indigenous people, the songs, like with all communities that transfer cultural knowledge of through oral history, oral cultures, it's the song. The song holds that knowledge. So I was recording these songs pre-contact that were singing about the land, how to live with that land, how to find your way across that land. And that's when it struck me that actually I should be recording and telling those songs from the people of the islands that are being lost, that are being threatened, because their songs, they have that connection like back through their lineage, through thousands of years, because it's 5,000 years that heritage spread through the region, in their voice, in their language, that these songs, even if it's a contemporary song, these artists are part of a musical heritage that's alive now, in like expressing itself now, continuing that heritage. So even the contemporary songs still carry that lineage, and that lineage which is built from all that time of knowing how to live, sustain a culture on those islands. And if we do this project like in their voice, that our goal is, just by like listening to it, it might just jog some deep sort of ancient memory or to learn more, a thirst. As I said to Kuana yesterday before the take, I said, know that the people are going to be listening to this song, you recording this song now, they're thirsty for what you're teaching them in your lyrics, in your song. There's a lot of people out there like, how do we reconnect, with the earth, like in a real, in a living way. And these cultures that have sustained that lifestyle for all that time, know how to do that in a living way, can impart that through the resonance of their songs. So that's the motivation too. And also by doing it, like, we're going to keep our politics out of it, because it's about the voice and the concerns of those people. And by allowing that voice to come through, it's going to have much greater impact and substance than our voice. That's what we reckon. At the same time, we're meeting some absolutely beautiful people, some great artists. As a music producer, I get to work with some of the best musicians and their instruments. I get to work with some of the greatest timbres and a rich cultural heritage that's full of like exciting sort of musical ideas for me, just on a practical, artistic level. Bao, as a travel blogger, and as she calls it, like deep travel. She gets to share that story, beyond just there are the tourist landmarks, but then those places have their own story, which these people who have maintained that relationship for, over millennia, know to sing in their songs. Here we are in Hawaii, Aotearoa next, New Zealand. And then we just got the funding from the Australia Council, arts body in Australia, to go to the Torres Strait Islands in Australia. They're Australia's Indigenous people who are connected to this heritage. And we're working with incredible artists there called Mau Power. And he's going to bring some hip hop to it in language, but all based on traditional instruments. And then to Papua New Guinea, where we're travelling through there. Yeah.
So is there an end in sight after Papua New Guinea, or will it
well,
on?
Look, I got, it's like, I think it will grow. And the other thing I really want to get across too is we left Alice Springs, that job. We didn't have any finances behind us. I'm a freelance artist. I've dedicated my life to sort of following my artistic sort of passion, and I'm really fortunate that early on I did a project in Papua New Guinea, and I learned about working with indigenous cultures and other than just my own sort of pop punk background, which I love too, and because there's such a different dimension to working with cultures, that have this heritage, and we left there. All we didn't have the money to do this. We had the idea. I had some contacts because I've been working in this industry for a while. I had a profile so I can show I can deliver a project like this. Bobo had 150,000 followers on her social media, so we had a resource there, and we thought, okay, from this we're going to make this happen. This project that's really beyond two people, and perhaps beyond a big corporate company, because it costs too much to do. They wouldn't do it, But we thought we just do it. We spent a year developing it, applying for grants, getting it out there, and our other approach was to like branding, but branding in a way that's developing our profile, with the mission statement, our ethics, to work, with the voice and with the guidance of the communities. So we spent a year travelling around showing a film I'd made in Vanuatu, which expressed just that, called Vanuatu Women's Water Music. We'd screen that, we'd show our travels with the Indigenous people of Australia and develop our following. At the same time applying for grants. So it's possible. You can do it. You can have a dream. And we'd had some others before, so once you pick on one, you think, okay, this is it. We're going to make it through the first lot of failures, and we're going to keep going until we start, it gets some traction. Yeah.
So, maybe we've already touched on it, but like with sustainability and ecology and connection to the earth, but have you noticed a thread? Have you felt a thread connecting all of the musicians that you've met with and in your travels?
Well, you see, the way I looked at it too, I looked at what's going on. Of course, it's right there in front of everyone. There is a train coming around the next bend, and we're all asleep on the tracks. That train is climate change. It's bang. What can I do? I'm not a scientist. I'm not a politician. I'm a music producer. I've got skills with a camera. I've got these connections. So, and the other thing I was aware of is that these cultures, all of the artists I've worked with in the Pacific, in Indigenous Australia, just about every song is about land. It's about country. And it's about connection to that country. Even this is a love song. You can hear in their voice, they're singing a love song, but they're singing a love song about the lorpu, their totem animal that connects them to their land. And so that's a common concern, and most often we declare it with the artists. We say, well, this is our motivation. It does have a political background, and it's climate change to bring across, to raise some awareness about climate change. But we want to create a platform for you to do that in your own voice through your language and culture. Because if we attach our politics to this project, it's going to dilute it. It's going to weaken its strength. So that is our motivation. But we're keeping, and even doing this interview, I'm scared that people are going to, it may weaken the overall sort of context. Because I really want the voice for our project to be from the grassroots people, not from my background. And that's the way I've produced all my projects in the past. You would look at these albums I've done, and you don't hear me on the albums. You don't see me, it's all about their voice. And I know I've got the skill to do that, to bring this across. So that's the other motivation. So yeah, there's a genuine concern that these these are connected people in the contemporary world. They know what scientifically is going on. They know what's going on their lands as well. You know, they can connect it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the other point I'd like to raise too. We have been, like, we are working with some really grassroots communities, like on Lanyu Island, incredible man, Simon, who's one of the last like traditional boat builders, who goes out into the forest to sing the trees to find the right tree to build the boat from. But we're really careful working with those sort of artists, and we haven't put their songs on our YouTube clip yet, and we're sharing those with other artists, and we really respect, you know, our YouTube channel doesn't show everything we've recorded, because we really want it presented everything with respect and the right light. And so we're really seeking professional musicians who are well respected in their community, their heritage, like Kuana. They're savvy to the music industry. They know what we're talking about. They know who we are. We're not going to take advantage of them, because they're going to see it straight away and pull us up. And also, they're used to talking on the international stage too. It'll be hoped to be good for their career. Connect them with, and the other thing is to connect them with other artists just like them. We're here with Kuana. Just before we were in Taiwan, we were with this incredible artist, Delo, who's from the Tarako people there. His whole tribe was just about decimated by the Japanese because they stood up for their land. They beat the Japanese in one battle, and the next battle the Japanese came back and just obliterated their culture. And he's, with the help of his partner and people in his community, he's rebuilt the songs and culture. And people like him who are, you know, they feel not isolated, but, you know, they're on their own doing what they're doing. If they knew there was Kuana, there was Horiomo in New Zealand, you know, Aileki Ingram in Papua New Guinea, all fighting the same good fight, Gus Teja in Bali, Sammy with the surname way so long, but I'll just say Sammy Tarika in Madagascar from the Marina people, that we can connect them all. And we're going to eventually get our project to the point where people will see, yeah, they're really doing it, let's fund them to get those artists together. But we can't afford that right now. So we're doing it by film and the methods, Pro Tools, contemporary music methods. We can take their song from place to place, play it to them on their land. They listen to the other artist's song with an introduction from that other artist. This we don't share with the public either. That artist sharing their song in their language, which we translate, of course, or they do, and they offer their song to the other artist. This is my song. I'm singing about culture. I'm singing about the trees. I'm singing about the land. I offer this song for you to contribute from your culture. That's how we're doing it. You know, with respect, and we're building up this song. And then my skill is in editing and mixing all those elements together, yeah, and filming it, or making the DVD film. But the other thing is, we don't know the end. It's going on, but we have no money, so we're thinking, how are we going to finish this? Bobo, the amazing treasurer and the visionary guiding the management side, says, I reckon we can get arts funding to finish it as an arts project. We can go do it as artists in residence. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go to artists in residence and start finishing it under the guise of being an art installation. And at the same time, we'll make a CD, we'll get the DVD done, and deliver an art installation. Yeah. Genius. Yeah, because the art grants are out there, and we've got a really good one. We've gone for a great one next year in Australia. Hope we get it. Yeah, so look out. You know, think startup companies. A little bit of inspiration. You hear about Airbnb. They started just as blow up beds for people going to conferences, but yet went off in this other tangent. You know, and here we are now, staying at Airbnb.
Right, Airbnb brought us together, right?
Yeah.
I never would have met you guys if you hadn't have come
Yeah.
to my house. Baba, did you want to say anything? I think.
Well, her first language is Mandarin. So we do interviews like this and presentations as well. I drive the English ones and she drives the Mandarin ones.
Ah, okay.
So our project will be will be like released in 2 languages, but will actually be all the Austronesian languages in the foreground. But English and Mandarin will be released in both. Yeah.
So give us your website and all of your social media platforms.
Okay, so we're Small Island Big Song. So www.smallislandbigsong.com. And then we've tried to keep that consistent across the board. So we've got a like Facebook page, as well as our personal ones. Bobo the Outback Adventurer is a pretty lively one. I'm Tim Cole in Melbourne, Australia. But Small Island Big Song YouTube. Please subscribe to that. We need a few more subscribers to reach 100 so we can get our own URL. All the Instagram, Flickr. I don't know what other ones. SoundCloud, Mixcloud. We're putting together some compilations of artists from these different regions. About to post one from Taiwan. And also Tim Cole Sound Art. You can find my other work, Tim Cole Sound Art, and you can see all the other music projects I've done. There's some pretty incredible artists I've had the great fortune to work with and learn from. Thank you, Jack Music, for the opportunity to talk into your little HD camera. I won't brand it and give them a free plug, but but for all you listening to this right now, keeping up the good fight, to waken up the hearts in our world and to lead change through building a positive earth rather than destroying the past one. It'll do that work for itself. For those of us, who are out there fighting the good fight, hey, keep it up. Don't the message is getting out there, and it is, because I know it totally will, because all actions, even the ones we judge as the most sort of hurtful and unbelievable, they're all motivated by love. We're all motivated by love, and everyone will come around to, yes, we've got to get it together, and feel some love and show some love for this earth of ours, through coming together. That's what I reckon.
Awesome.
Keep up the good fight. Yeah.
All right.
Emtasol, as they say in Papua New Guinea. That's all. And Palya, as they say in Central Australia, Pitjantjatjara. Thank you.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Yeah. And I love Hawaiian hula culture. Wow, so great to be here. That's the other good thing. We visit these countries. It is strong. Indigenous culture, you may not hear a lot about it. There are people on the ground strong and keeping it going alive. The song of this earth, this land, is being sung in all these places, and we're discovering that. Yeah, it's there to find. Yeah, and Jack's sharing it too.